iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiski Times today. As Kaizer Chiefs 1, Sekhukhune United 3 in the Betway Premiership. It was a top of the table clash. If one of them won, it meant the reward would be that they will be number 1 on Tuesday, the 16th of September. They will sleep knowing that once upon a time this season, one of them were number 1, if not for the first or the second or the third time this season. Maybe by tomorrow night at the same time, Sundowns will go back to number 1, who is to say. So well done to Coach Eric Tinkler. He is the top of the national championship as we sleep tonight, and who's to say that he might not smell it again next time. To Kaizer Chiefs, a reality check, although there are positive signs if you look at it broadly, of course, that they are on the upper end of the table, whereas last season they were towards number 9, number 10 as they finished the season. Lindo Pep, what did you make of it, sir?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I think ngibulisa much the technical team ngara. Ngibulisa Justa. Ngibulisa now. To be honest with you, I think I credit man Eric Tintler. Congratulations to Eric Tintler. Congratulations to the Sekhukhune United boys. I think they had an exceptional game. In both half. I think Sekhukhune United played the game ngama moments. I think they picked their moments from a tactical perspective. I think Mochoku Eric Tintla Mr. he starts the game in a 4-2-3-1. I think Kaizer Chiefs coach Nabi starts in a 4-2-3-1. Badlala nge-base here double pivot.
Same formation.
Yeah, badlala nge-base here double pivot with the number 10. I think that the only visible difference in both teams is that Kaizer Chiefs, they were playing a very high line. But Eric Tintler picked the moment. Every time when the Kaizer Chiefs take the ball on a wider area, because they know, they identify that it's the first point of attack of Kaizer Chiefs. Every time it goes wide, they drop the line a little bit deeper. If it goes central, they push a little bit higher. The midfield press was exceptional. I think Kaizer was first man on the ball. I think Nare played that 8 position exceptionally well. I think Bega joined, Magmela joined. I think, in my opinion, Nare had a game of his life, in my opinion. And I think also the contribution factor is that it is better. He's highly motivated. You can see even him after scoring the celebration. I think he was very solid in midfield. Yes, there were too many sideway passes in the first half.
Both of those midfielders from Chiefs and for Sekhukhune, it was a tactical game, as you mentioned, Uguti, when they had the ball in a certain position, they were stepping up or dropping back. It was a lot of sideways passes. But in the second half, with Munari, it was shocking to see him being able to run behind the defenses.
Yeah, the only disappointing thing even in the first half is that even with both goals, Mangwachi, our check, our assessor, you'd understand that the Kaizer Chiefs, even in that high line, Fabian McCarthy, in my opinion, Aiden McCarthy, and the boy, it's positive criticism every time. We don't want to kill young players. But for me, when I was assessing the boy, even when he was doing well, I was like, Umfanuel Khaleli Paul. And sometimes he moves out of position. Kolapa, in my opinion, mang assess that situation. I think the bet 4 is solid and narrow. But the boy decides to jump to the next line. And none of Muchampile, there's nothing wrong, but win the head. He fails to win the header. He fails to anticipate. The run behind is exceptional.
Out of position.
Yeah, the right back makes an incredible run. It's not Umube who comes with the assist, it's the right back. Good run from deep as the right back. I think he anticipated the run. He brings in a pinpoint cross, and the most clinical striker in the PSL finishes, in my opinion. 37-year-old, very fit, very still dynamic. But also what's important is that Kaizer Chiefs scores the similar like that. In a very good midfield press, they play one ball into Lilepo. Userino comes in a secondary assist. Lilepo takes it to the box, they punish. But now, immediately after that, and this is good coaching from Eric Tintler, they realize that, okay, the first point of attack is wide. But now they're playing a high line. When you're playing a high line, you cannot sacrifice not pressing the ball carrier. The person on the ball needs to be pressed. And I think that's when they did it well. Even in the second half when they came up, they did not allow Kaizer Chiefs to pick a pass from behind. Because they knew that the line is very high. And sometimes from central areas, the line is high. But when it goes wide, they drop the line. I think Tintler was very intelligent as well by release Antoine. Because he quickly noticed that, firstly, I'm playing a high line. And yes, we are pressing a ball carrier. But sometimes we're late in football. And the more late, you need a runner. Because now it becomes a sprint race. And that's what Kaizer Chiefs was struggling for. For me, the best forensic and the tactical approach to Eric Tintler identified was they are going to leave space behind. We need to pick the pass, and it needs to be accurate, and it needs to go to wider areas. 1, the fullbacks don't have height. That's an advantage. Number 2, they maybe don't have pace. We can use that to our advantage. The 3 number 10s, we got Eric Tintler. He didn't play with wingers today. He played fullback, number 28, Nolitlapa. Ngube, top class game. I didn't know he has that pace. And this is what we've been asking for. We understand that Uskeshe has got the ability.
He is talented.
He's very
just
talented.
Do it every week.
Consistency. Be a coachable player. Understand that the age is also on his side. They're talking about Tukeleto Makhaula, who gives them different options. What I love a winger. Otimaga Petipola, the first option, because he understands is the first point of attack and exit point is to dribble a wing.
Now, the feedback to him is that we only saw that in the second half.
In the second half, for sure.
Especially Umakhalo.
Yeah, but I think even Nano Mukeleto Bega off, or Ramallah, Elias Ramal, what a baller.
This is why I was asking the question. I think it's a very interesting topic, and I'll ask some of the guys as well that why is because Sibone Ramallah, Uletlapa, Makhalo, in relation to Makhalo, because those are the left side players, the Sekhukhune, that why would Umakhalo on the left wing forward need attack Uguti Enziwe Uletlapa with these third man runs? And I think that this is a challenge that we see in as you mentioned, the first assist was coming from a fullback as well from the other side. I understand the technical detail that says if our wingers are coming inside, then we allow our fullbacks to go. But why is it that these teams are asking, and especially even with the Chiefs as well, they would ask Frosla, to be the ones who are bombing forward, not as an overlap, but to be like the focal point of an attack, but it's only fullbacks. And I think that's problematic. I think that the first thing he did, on top of what we mentioned earlier, is that in the second half he told Makhalo, like you are going to be the one in attacking positions, and the second goal was scored like that he dared to take the chance. We can't be asking fullbacks to be the ones that are taking chances.
I think let me explain it like this, and I'm hoping I'm not going to take long. Sure. I think that's why I'm saying it's a tactical masterclass from Eric Tindler, and this has nothing to do with the style of play. We saw a variation in his game. I think he changed the system in games. That's why there's a formation, there's a system. The system in the game rotates in and out of position.
Sure.
Let me tell you, I saw three ways of attack. It's either you play around the opponent, you play over the opponent, or you play through them. There were so many moments. The goal comes through.
Yeah, it went through. It was chipped over.
The first goal comes over. Right? What is important in that detail is that he picked his moment. He knew how Kaizer. That's why I'm saying he absolutely planned well. He knew that we will dominate the ball, we will keep the ball, rest a little bit on the ball, involve they must keep the shape. Immediately because Bakhaleli Pola, the tactical discipline that we always speak about, Bakhaleli Pola behind. And they knew that they had pace, Ramala and and they capitalized. They knew that Ukhrobla is not going to move much, stay in the box. But another one, Mr. Nkewu, is that when they knew they wanted to break central, they keep a full back very high. And now Batiku Chiefs decide what you want to do. If you go and press wide, you're opening central. That's when Abumnare make those runs. So above Vuyo Mabahaka was a brilliant run. And now Mr. Nkewu, Mabaya wide. Now you choose. Maba Kaizer choose my press wide. They play through. When the ball goes central, there's always above Vuyo on the wider side, or there's always Ulentuza, Uskesha on the wider side. So for me, it was a master tactical plan. And also Kaizer Chiefs, I think in my opinion, they need to make a decision. They want to attack our fullbacks. They need one winger to come inside for a creativity, add and become a more number 10. For me, the last 15 minutes, they played very well.
Yeah, just describe it for us, what happened in the last 15 minutes, because I hear you guys are very complimentary of what happened. It looked like Chiefs were pushing in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, but sometimes also a team that it's
like the scoreboard tells you to push.
Yeah, the scoreboard tells you what to push. But for me, a very good. He brings a lot of arrogance. He drives with the ball in midfield. Villa as well brings in a red carpet passes. Brings in a lot of energy. And I think that this game was perfect for him too. Why I'm saying this game? Sometimes we coach, you plan for a game, but the game ends a guy on the pitch. Sometimes you need to change a little bit. For me, the tactical approach from the coach was supposed to change immediately in the first 20 minutes. The game was screaming for pace behind. Because you have to please, you've got who's a number 10 that run behind. I think for me, Userino, I know that we always cry for him to start, but I think he should have stayed too. He should have kept him too. I think Umtu would have been very effective behind the defense. He should have kept Tutu. Today, the game did not need ball players up front. Upule Modi gave nothing the team on the ball, because every time U receiver and Ekmelenjalo at Tribula Mainasa combine. For me, the game needed a winger that was going to run behind the defense. It needed a right winger, which is Ulilepo's quality, that's going to run, but he stayed too much on the line. The number 9 as well is playing with his back towards goal. He's not causing any problems for Sekhukhune. So for me, they needed the run behind. And also, I have to give credit to the pitch, man. The pitch today was really good.
Better. There are patches where there's sand, but it looks in a much better state. We need to wrap up. I need to ask you about the two teams, actually, both for Eric Tinkler and both for Nasruddin Nabi. The reward for both of them would have been number 1 in the country tonight, at least, only for 24 hours. They could stay longer, of course, if Sundowns loses tomorrow. What does this mean for Tinkler going to number 1, temporarily, possibly? And what would it have meant for Nabi? And does it mean negative implications longer for Nabi Uti he didn't win this game?
Yeah, but let me start with Nabi. It depends how you look at Kaizer Chiefs. I look at Kaizer Chiefs as a top 4, top 6 team.
Yeah.
So for me, I expect them to drop the results there and there, to be honest with you. For me, I just would love to give Sekhukhune credit for an excellent tactical game plan, the players' application. I think for me, with Kaizer Chiefs, there were so many bad performances, in my opinion. Aiden McCarthy, Paseka Marco, no matter how much I love him, I think his game had too many mistakes. I think the two midfield as well, the two midfield defensive, I think they gave the team nothing. No pass aside, there's no creativity. Gaston Serino, Uzamile. Yes, so Aiden McCarthy, Uzamile, pull my window, but they were ineffective in my opinion. Lilepo as well. Today, I'm Bonanga, Tribula, one defender. I didn't, okay, I saw him, Ashai, Itagil, and the Fabio Silva scored, but was he effective in the game? So for me, in terms of performance from a Kaizer Chiefs perspective, they didn't apply themselves. And for me, I choose to look at the Kaizer Chiefs as a top 4 team. I'm not expecting them to win every game. With regards to Sekhukhune United, Mangcheko Eric Tindla has got a solid team now. He's got a solid team now. He's got players, he's got experience, he's got the goalkeeper, he's got a solid back four, he's got an experienced midfield, he's got dynamic and very skillful players, he's got a goal scorer. I think that's the difference. The biggest credit you need to give Eric Tindla is that he identified that in this league, you need a clinical finisher, you need somebody who's going to score you goals. He's got to I don't see them winning the league, but I do see them having a good season. But one thing that Eric Tindla needs to do this season for Sekhukhune is to get a domestic trophy.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, Lindo Pep. That was Sekhukhune United traveling to the FNB Stadium and beating Kaizer Chiefs. Well done, Sekhukhune. Commiserations to Kaizer Chiefs as well. Well done to Bradley Grobler, involved in all 3 goals of Sekhukhune United. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, was sweating.
Shapunjan Bafuyetui Kamalamu Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi Bafetu, I'm a coach for life. They are back in winning ways. Please, I tell you to subscribe to iDiskiTV.